Hello friends! So today we are going to be bringing you something that I've actually been seeing on the internet a lot, but we wanted to try it out and see if this really is as easy as it seems. So I've got a wood pumpkin here that we can share the link to, and I've got some Mod Podge and a napkin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first take some Mod Podge and I'm going to put a light layer on top of this pumpkin. And we're just going to, like I said, light layer. Doesn't need to be too thick. We will be putting a napkin on top of it. Ooh, I messed up. I'm going to do it this way and then I'll show you the next way. There are a few different ways we can do this. So this will be like our little bit of an experiment. All right. So this is one way that you can do it, but there's also another way. All right, just a light layer. And then I've got a napkin here. Normally, or not normally, but you could also paint the wood.
You have to one ply.
Thank you. All right, so before we put this on, I have to one ply it. All right, we one plied that napkin. And then we are going to lay our design on top of this pumpkin. All right, perfect, like that. So before I do anything else, I am going to just slice this across. And then we're going to do our next step. So our next step would be to get a heat mat. I have this, or you can get a little iron and an ironing board. So I'm putting this on my heat mat. I'm taking a piece of parchment paper, and then I'm taking my heat press, which Mom turned off. So she's turning it on right now. Oh, I'm turning it on right now. It still should be hot. And we're going to just press along this pumpkin once this heats up. All right, so our heat press is ready. So we're just going to take this, and I'm going to put a pretty firm pressure on here. And I am just going to go across this a few times. Normally when you use a heat press, it tells you about 30 seconds. So I'm going to kind of just firmly press around this pumpkin for about 30 seconds. And then you're going to see the magic happen. Hopefully. It's going to be a little hot, so I'm going to let it kind of cool to our touch. But it is, oh my God, it's so smooth. Ah, okay, let's let this cool for a few seconds and then we'll come right back to it. All right, so we had that Mod Podge, right? And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just take my water brush and I'm gonna just go around the napkin just a little bit around the pumpkin. And this is just gonna be so I can tear the napkin a little bit closer to the wood base that I have here, just to make it a little bit easier for when I need my emery board. So we're just gonna rip away part of this napkin. And by getting it wet, it obviously makes it so it will rip where it won't rip your design. I mean, this is solidly glued to the pumpkin base at this point, so it's really not going to, but... And look how amazing that is! Ah! Okay, now we're going to do the other side. So that's going to be with the Hello Pumpkin. The top is going to be a little off, but I think I'm okay with that. All right, so biggest step that we got to remember is make it 2-ply.
1 ply.
2-ply into 1-ply. Like, oh, I already did that on this one. I did the whole thing.
Oh.
It's already 1-ply. Yay! All right.
With the whole napkin.
So we accidentally, or I accidentally forgot to 1-ply one of mine, and I'll show you kind of what it looks like. I was experimenting a little bit and I forgot. So the cool part about when we heat press this is it takes away all of the little bumps and everything in the napkin, and it really, like, it doesn't even disintegrate the napkin, but it just, like, makes it a part of the wood. I don't know what it is, but when you make it that 1-ply, it really does solidify to the wood. So let me show them my mistake as I'm doing this. All right, so this side we did well. This side I forgot to 2-ply or 1-ply. So you can see here where I actually pulled it up. There's like a line. So I can pull up the rest of my napkin and then do it again. I actually just put Mod Podge now in between the 2 layers, and it worked a lot better. So if you do make that mistake, hopefully you can pull up that layer and fix it. But, oh, that one edge I missed a little bit. And you can tell when you miss an edge.
And you want your little mini press on low when you're doing this.
He's on low.
Yes, I know.
I was showing them he's on low.
Oh, okay.
All right. Did that one side? I don't think I had enough glue here. This is where our experimenting helps you guys a little bit. So we do want Mod Podge on every single inch of this. All right. I may have put a little too much on that right now. Gonna let that sit for a second. So really make sure you get to all of these edges. We do not want this happening on yours. That's why we experiment and we find out what works for you.
You sound like a commercial.
Isn't that basically what we are?
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm like a walking commercial. All right, better. I'm just gonna let that dry a little bit. All right, so even with our little mistake on the edges there, it still looks really cute. And then we could just put a piece of twine through it. So same with this one. Like, even though that's a mistake and I know that this might fray a little bit more, it still looks absolutely adorable. I'm loving these. These are just so cute.
Mm-hmm.
Ah! Okay, should I do a third one? So another thing is if you have just like a napkin like this is a big plaid napkin, you can get a lot out of one napkin, right? So if we did our water technique before we put anything down, just make sure not to put too much water like I did right in that one spot. Right? If we just use our water technique to really I'm just gonna watch in this one spot to make sure I don't rip too much, because a napkin will dry, you know. So I got enough on this. Remember to make it into a 1-ply napkin. I swear, this is the hardest part of the whole thing. Just separating the napkin.
Maybe you should just 1-ply the whole napkin.
Yeah, well, that would have been smarter, right?
Well, I just thought of it, so.
And like, it would actually look really cool if you painted this pumpkin orange too, and then put the plaid down. I mean, either way is totally fine. But remember from our last mistake, you do want to make sure that you get the Mod Podge everywhere. It doesn't matter if it dries before you put the napkin on. You just want to make sure that all of those edges really do have the glue on it. You actually technically want it to dry a little bit before you put the napkin on, because you don't want to heat up wet glue, because then everything will get stuck together everywhere. But you really want to make sure that you get the Mod Podge on every single surface of this. And then we can put our plaid napkin. Whoops, don't get stuck on my finger. Smack. That's so cool. I just love how it just attaches itself to the wood. Like, it is just so cool. All right, so with this one, I wanted to show you that I actually put a crease of the napkin on this one. So I want to show you that even if it's a creased napkin, it's gonna look amazing. And there you have it. So there's 3 different napkins that we got. All absolutely adorable. Totally interchangeable on both. And let's go bring it over to the tree. And here they are on our ghost tree. They look amazing. And that's Technique Tuesday. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, please let us know in the comments below. But we really hope that you enjoy this technique. And if you see us at our next few weekends, maybe we will be offering this as a class. So, all right, we'll see you next time. Bye.